Hey guys, good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's 4 a.m. bright and early here in Connecticut on the East Coast. So I've been up for 2 hours or so now, and as I'm trying to put together some ideas for a video, I had to back up and rethink a couple of them because, to be honest with you guys, like the Keystone Pipeline, $2,000 stimulus checks. There was some, I came across criticisms. A lot of times I go to the conservative pages and look through, see what they're saying. And I started to have these video ideas where I would defend Joe Biden. And I told myself that I wasn't going to do that. I wasn't going to come on here every day. I didn't come on here for the last year and beat up on Trump and then flip and then come on here and say that, for the next 4 years, come on here and say that everything Joe Biden and defend everything he's doing. That is not why I want this channel. Social justice, social issues, making life, just making things better instead of the same old status quo. It's things that we all see that are wrong, that have been going on for too long. I started questioning this yesterday. We talk about before Trump got elected, we kept talking about a businessman. We should have a businessman for president, businessman as president. And I started rethinking that, and I know there's probably a lot of you that are going to beat me up for this, but this was just an idea, and now it's become a mantra almost. It's become a requirement, I think, in a lot of, in a lot of people's minds. It's become a requirement that you have to have a big businessman as president, as a part of the government. And I started rethinking that. I started looking at Donald Trump himself. And I'm not going to sit here and tear him apart, but I started to think about why him? Why a businessman? Because you want, the country's based on capitalism, right? So you want a government. You don't want I started to think about this. Did it make sense? Is the government a business itself? No, it's not. It's an aid. It's a protection for health, for services, to enable us to find happiness, prosperity in this country and our freedom, defend our freedoms, right? But it's not a business. And I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about that whole reasoning. I mean, we've come to accept that. I think a lot of us have come to accept that as a given, that the president and lawmakers or governors all have to be businessmen to support our capitalist society. And then I started thinking about China. Now, over the next couple of years, China is going to overtake their economy is going to overtake us. That's pretty much another given. And we look at the world right now with science, technology, and medicine being at the forefront of everything. If you're going to make regulations about, you don't want to be overregulated, right? I think Republicans can agree with that. But you don't want to be underregulated either. You don't want kids eating lead paint off the walls. That's something I grew up with. You don't want asbestos. I've seen people around me with lung cancer that worked on brakes and stuff like that. You need these regulations. A lot of people have no problem making money at the expense of the other people's health. And this I see as the job of the government. This is why I see, and a lot of people will say, well, that's what the cabinet's for. But I could say the same thing about business. You could have somebody that the president doesn't need to be a businessman. I just started rethinking that because a lot of the things we take as givens, and I think we need people that are going to think outside of the box, new ideas. I think it became too much of a mantra that we got to have a businessman. And I started to look at Donald Trump. Like I said, the purpose of this video isn't just to tear apart Donald Trump, but what are his qualifications? Now, roughly, I don't think he started his business from scratch. I think he was given money. Now, I'm assuming, that being said, it's a lot easier to make money when you already have money than it is to start from scratch. So I'm not going to give him credit there. As for the accounting part of setting payrolls, a lot of people went to that when they talk about keeping our government in budget and all that. Well, Donald Trump ran the budget up more than any other president in the United States history, if I'm not mistaken. He came in here saying that he was going to get rid of the deficit, and it's ballooned to God knows what right now. So obviously, this budget keeping salary thing that goes right out the window. So what exactly did he do as a businessman? He basically just threw all the regulations out the window, threw the baby out with the bathwater, I guess, as they say. He might have made it a little more financially easier for businesses to make money, but he also made the world a more dangerous place for those of us eating out here and drinking the water and the waterways and the air that we breathe and all that. And I just started to think, maybe, like I said, with China, a lot of the future of our economy is based on science, technology, and medicine. With these viruses that are coming through, there's going to be more of them. If we had maybe somebody a little more intelligent, a little more knowledgeable with science, technology, and medicine, it might not hurt to think about future presidents, future governors, future leaders. Maybe that might be a good criteria, instead of just assuming that just because somebody could be a big bully, sit behind a desk and run a few golf courses, and just earn money on top of the money. Like I said, it's easy to earn. If you already have $5 million, $10 million, it's fairly easy to build that. I really don't see, Trump's qualifications. And as far as the deficit goes, it certainly didn't help there. Just some thoughts that I was throwing around in my head. This isn't even where this video was going to go, but I thought about just thinking. Sometimes we need people that think outside the box. And I'm pretty good at that. So that's one of the reasons I'd like to think this channel's here. All right, I'm going to be back later with another video. I want to talk about the impeachment. You guys have a good Wednesday.